Acadia National Park is located on Mount Desert Island in Maine, and is one of the most beautiful and visited national parks. It is famous for its diverse ecosystem and stunning views of the North Atlantic Ocean. The Park Loop Road, a 27-mile scenic drive, connects many of these attractions, so they can be accessed by vehicles. If you come in summer, there are also shuttle buses connecting the major sites. Halls Cove Visitor Center is a perfect first stop to pick up maps and gather general information about the park. Jordan Pond is a glacial pond surrounded by trails.
Nope, 13. 14.
The 3.4-mile Loop Trail is a leisurely hike that takes about 2 hours in total. The mountain in the background is called Bubble Mountains from their rounded, bubble-like shape. It's a nice pond, but to be honest, it's not something to marvel at. Getting back to the car and heading to Cadillac Mountain. Paved road called the Cadillac Summit Road leads to the top, the tallest peak on the U.S. East Coast. Timed entry reservation is required to drive to the summit during peak times, which you have to do online in advance. From October to early March, Cadillac Mountain is the first place in the country to see the sunrise. So the reservations for sunrise time is more competitive. Even not at sunrise time, it's still stunning, and a must-visit for the park. Cadillac Summit Loop Trail is a half-mile, well-maintained path circles the summit, providing 360-degree panoramic views. The green patches you see on the ground are primarily composed of organisms called lichen, which are a unique combination of fungi and algae, incredibly hardy and thrive in nutrient-poor environments. If you notice a pink hue on the rocks, your eyes aren't mistaken. It's due to the unique granite found in the area. Cadillac Mountain is composed primarily of pink granite, a distinctive feature of the island's geology. It's a formation that is approximately 420 million years old, during a time of intense volcanic activity. Over millions of years, erosion exposed the stunning granite at the surface. Pink granite is extremely hard and resistant to weathering, which is why it has stood the test of time against the harsh coastal climate of Mount Desert Island. The pink granite is especially striking during sunrise and sunset, when the light enhances its rosy tones, making the mountain glow with warmth. After seeing the mountain, another place you don't want to miss is the sand beach. It's a small beach, but the rocky cliffs and forest around it make it special. Despite its name, the beach is not made of traditional sand but is instead a mix of crushed shells, quartz, and granite. Therefore has a unique, soft texture. The water is often quite cold, even in summer, so swimming here is a brisk experience. Just nearby is the Beehive Trail, which climbs the exposed face of Beehive Mountain. It's really popular with adventurous hikers. Thunder Hole is famous for its thunderous boom that occurs when waves crash into the narrow opening. Best time to see Thunder Hole is during high tide, which occurs twice a day, and you can find out the time at Visitor Center. Even if not during high tide, sometimes you can catch small thunders like this. Why does it have an inlet like this? Well, the bedrock along Acadia's coast is predominantly hard granite, however it also contains natural fractures and weaknesses. Over millennia, waves have exploited these weaknesses, gradually carving out the narrow inlet that defines the hole. Leaving Thunder Hole, there are two smaller sites en route before heading out. This small Japanese garden is inspired by the Ryoenji Garden in Kyoto. The Maine trip is incomplete without eating some lobster. We came to this very popular local lobster shack before leaving the Mount Desert Island. The lobster roll is very tasty, probably the best I've had in Maine. All things blueberry are delicious in Maine. Acadia National Park is the last stop of my 13-day trip to Maine and Quebec. It's time to head back to Portland and then to DC. I now have more context about Maine lighthouses. Sadly, it's time to say goodbye to Maine. If you're interested to my overall route planning and other stops, please check my previous videos. In this trip, I visited Portland, Freeport, Maine coastal towns, and then head inland to New Hampshire, Vermont, Cross the border to Mont Tremblant, Ottawa, Montebello, Montreal, Quebec City, and then back to Acadia National Park. Now, it's time to return home.